you guys are the youngest ones in the building, so you might not really know me as well as the older ones. But I have a true passion, and it is paying it forward. I truly believe in that, because I was able to see how it affects and how it comes back firsthand. I would stop and do things, and a lot of it is your time, first of all. It doesn't, as I tell the stories and stuff, I don't want you guys thinking it has to be like a dollar amount or it has to be an expensive item or anything. It's mostly your time, okay? I would do things without even thinking of anything. I had no payment, you know, like money-wise or anything, but like one time I was, it was like 1998, and I was driving down in Peru on Route 251 by the mall, and there was a car that was pulled over, and you know, cars are just keep going by. Well, anyway, I stopped, and I'm not saying that's a safe thing to do nowadays, okay? That's my choice I made, and I stopped to see if they needed, if the person needed help, and there was this little old lady, and she had a flat tire, and she didn't have anyone to call, so I said, I can get my husband, I can't change your tire, but I can have my husband change it, and he was at work. He was a mechanic at he ran a truck stop, and I had him come and change the lady's tire, and then I said, it was like one of those donuts, those donut tires. It's a smaller tire than your normal size. So I was kind of worried about that, so I said, how about if I just follow you home and to make sure you get home safe? And she goes, oh, I live in Mendota, and I said, oh, I got time. I can follow you there. So I just followed her to Mendota, and then she tried paying, giving me some money. And I didn't want her money. That's not why I stopped. So I just told her my name. I said, I'll say a prayer for me. You know, I said, I like helping people. So now this was in 1998, okay? In year 2000, I had a house fire. And you're going to learn 2 life lessons from Shevokas right now. Smoke alarms saved our life, truly. We were sleeping, and if it wasn't for that smoke alarm, I know I wouldn't have been able to get my kids out. Okay, they were upstairs. So anyway, smoke alarm went off, and within 5 minutes of getting out, the whole house engulfed. There was an explosion, and it took the whole house and everything in it. But I had the kid, and my kids were okay, and my husband and I were okay. And it was in February 8th, and it was winter. It was a nice storm, actually, that day. And as I was running out, I saw my kids out in the front yard with no shoes on, no coats, in their pajamas. And at the end of the hallway by my front door, there was a rule at our house anyway, the night before you'd have all your book bags packed, all your papers, your shoes, and your coats. That way if you were running late in the morning, all you had to do is grab it to catch the bus. Well, I saw the boots sitting there, and I figured I'd just take one good scoop up, you know what I mean? And out the door I went, and I didn't even make it out with 2 pairs. I mean, it was just one boot. So that wasn't much help for Andrea. So we went to my mother-in-law's down the road. Within an hour, people started coming to help us. And more than anything, that meant more to me was the stories or the thank yous from us helping them at one point. One time, I was driving on the radio. It said, "Be kind to your neighbor. Thank your neighbor. Neighbor Day." I've never heard of Neighbor Day before, have you? No. I think it's a Hallmark thing, actually. But Spring Valley florist that had a sign also, "Be kind to your neighbor. Buy some carnations." So I thought, oh, how much fun would that be? So I went in and I bought some carnations. I live out in the country, on the edge of town, in Mark, you know. So I bought a couple dozen, and I went to all the houses in Mark around, introduced myself, and thanked them for being a neighbor. That was like a year before my fire. There was a knock at the door at my mother-in-law's. And when I opened it, it was all those neighbors that got together to come thank us for being their neighbor. And that's how my daughter got her first pair of shoes. It was from the Kemp family. And that was because I took the time to stop and knock on their door and tell them, thank you for being my neighbor, and introducing myself. So more than anything, it was just that they remembered the act of kindness that I showed them, and here it came back to me. These are like life lessons that are like the best. So then, a few days later, I get the mail, and I get this card in the mail, and it's from that little old lady that I helped from Mendota. And it said, just saying that I took the time to help her, never wanted anything, and she's so grateful that now she can help me in my time of need. There was like a $25 check in there. More than the money. It was that she remembered me after 2 years. 2 years of remembering my name. I was like amazed. And then right there it hit you. Once again, it hit me saying, oh my God, I made an impact on her to remember my name. Would you remember someone's name after 2 years? I mean, that just blew my mind. So then, as people were coming, like a couple hours after the fire, an hour or whatever, my oldest she took a shower. And she's like, hey Mom, at my mother-in-law's, and then she's like, do you have a Q-tip? And it was like, it's like one of those things, like Q-tip. And I stopped in my tracks, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't even have a Q-tip to give to my daughter. I could go to the bank, get some money, go to the store, and buy Q-tips. But there was a knock at the door. Another neighbor showed up with what? Toiletries. A Q-tip. And like a box of, like a thing of Q-tips. And I was thinking, it's going to be okay. That's in my heart. I knew it's going to be okay. People took the time to help us because I took the time to help them, or even just like a little acknowledgement of their existence. So that's how I know firsthand it works. And since I make a point to try to make a difference. Before, it was just, the best part was, it was just out of fun to do some of the nice things. You know what I mean? To see, like, there was a mother that I heard was going through a hard time, and she was concerned about not having enough to get their kids' school clothes and stuff, So I told the kids, I said, let's round up some stuff, and I'll bring it to her, And she said to me, I don't know how I'm going to thank you. I don't know how I can repay you. And I said, the look on your face is more than anybody would ever want for payment. I knock on my door. Open it up. Well, not my door, my mother-in-law's door. And who was there? That mother, years later, with a box of stuff for my kids. And then she stopped and said, you're right. The look on your face is the best payment you can ever give someone. So I know firsthand, again, I made an impact on someone. And you guys, if you would just take the time to do that, it's the best thing you could ever get back in life. It's not about the money, like, money's great. and you need money to live and pay your bills, and you have to work hard. But more than anything, what you leave behind with people means even more. You know what I mean, right? Isn't it great to be known as a good person than a bad person? And was I a saint? No. When I was your age, I was a stinker. You know, I did things, made bad choices. You know what I mean? Because you're kids, and that's why we're kids, right? We have to learn from our mistakes. And if you make a mistake and you learn from it, it was totally worth it. If you make a mistake and you don't learn from it, it's a waste of time. And I have figured that out over the years. You know what I mean? So, if you make a difference in someone's life, it's the best you can do. And it doesn't have to be money. It's your time. Maybe it's someone that needs extra help with their homework. You see someone struggling and they start frustrated because they don't understand how to do their math. And if you know how to do that, if you took the time, instead of doing your 5 problems, to get your homework done and help them understand how to get their homework done, you just made an impact in someone's life. They might not even know it at that time. But years later, you'll have an aha moment, and then you'll know. You know what I mean by that? Because like some of the stuff I did when I was younger, I had no idea how much of an impact it's going to be later in life. It just does. And when I do things for you, or if I see someone, and that's the thing, besides your time, you know, if you just stop and listen, sometimes we're all, and I'm a big talker, everybody knows I like to talk. Sometimes if you just sit back and listen, and look, and observe, you can see what needs to be done, you know? And you know what, the best way of doing it is not to get the recognition, I can't even say it now, recognition for it. The best is to do it on the sly, you know? And not even let that person know that you actually helped them. That's even better. I find that out. That's even better because then you can see from afar the gratitude that they have sometimes, you know? Like I have an older daughter. I have 3 older children. And she lives in Chicago, and she sees a lot of homeless people, which is very sad, right? But some of them make that decision for themselves. Some of them can't help it. But anyway, it's really awesome to see your kids carry it on. She called me one night, about a month ago, and she said, "You're right, Ma. Sometimes not even getting the recognition right away for it is the best you can do." Because she was going to work and she packed her lunch and stuff, and she put an extra banana in her lunch for a snack for later in the day. And it's an extra banana. That's what I want you to understand. An extra banana. What's that? You know. But as she was walking by the homeless person, she just gently put it down and just kept walking. Didn't want to talk. I mean, that's the best way of doing it. And she thought he was sleeping. But she called me and she said, "You know, I could tell on his face he knows it was me who gave him the banana." And it's a simple banana that changed that man's life for just for a moment until he ate it, I'm sure, and felt better. His stomach probably felt better. But what I'm trying to say is it's the little things you can do. It doesn't always have to be a big thing. That can change. So, if you learn anything from Mrs. Shevokas, it's going to be smoke alarms, right? Double checking your insurance policies would be a better thing too. And then, more than anything is to take the time to help someone. It's the best gift you can give anyone. And it truly is a gift. It is a gift. Any questions? Do you understand what I was saying? Just try it. Sometimes when I pass you guys, I might see you guys doing something, and I hand you a little piece of gum, and I'll say, "Good things happen to good people." I truly believe that. You don't have to be a good person all the time. I'm not saying you have to be a saint. But if in your heart, and you know you're a good person, and you're trying your best every day to be the best that you can be, and passing it on, the greatest gift. It truly is. Is that enough? Is that enough?